What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the Everyday Hustle. I'm Adam Ali. Appreciate y'all being here. This is a Beyond the Hustle video. What that means is it's topics, away from my entrepreneurial day-to-day type of content, episodic content that I put on this channel. What am I going to be talking about today? If you didn't know, I like Twitter, and I think I have the best tweets. Just saying, y'all can check me out. But nonetheless, I was on Twitter this week and I found a really good thread, and the woman was asking her followers, what is your best relationship advice? And she had over 700 responses, and I went through majority of them and I handpicked the ones that I thought were great, and I want to share it with you guys and provide a little, feedback on each of the tweets from this question. What is the best relationship advice? So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, it's you and your partner versus the problem, not you versus your partner. Absolutely. A lot of times we think our partner is the opposition, they're going against us. But if you guys are locked in, then it's about the problem here, and focusing on finding solutions is key. Easier said than done, but yeah, change the focus from partner versus team versus problem. Let me know what y'all think, comment below. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I think actions speak louder than words. They could say all they want, but if they display something, you could address it. But you gotta accept people for who they are and what they show. It's just as simple as that. What y'all think? Do you want to always be right and prove your point, or do you want a happy relationship? So my thought is, I think it's important to pick your battles. It's very toxic to be having a stance all the time and just having to argue, and it's just not a good foundation of a relationship to always constantly speaking your truth. So you just got to pick your battle, and sometimes people will realize later on, but if you forever just battling and fighting is not a good look. Just my 2 cents. You are complete on your own. No one completes you. Absolutely. If you don't do the work of being comfortable with yourself, being secured with yourself, knowing what your values, your morals, your principles are, then you'll always feel incomplete. You're always going to feel the need of someone else to make you whole. Once you know you're solid regardless whether this person is in your life or not. And that can only occur when you have done the work, self-reflection, some solitude, just being a thinker. But yeah, I definitely think no one can complete you because you got to do the work. My 2 cents. What y'all think? Comment below. You need to like the person, as simple as that sounds. You can love someone and not like them. That's what makes the like factor very important. You can love people, but you may not like them for what they do. You just love them because of bloodline, because you have history with them. But after they've shown action or they speak a certain type of way, their nature, you may not like them. And if you don't like your partner, then, does love really matter? I almost want to say liking someone is almost as important as loving the person. I'm about to drop the horn on this one here. We are here to experience people, not own and possess them. Absolutely. I think it's important that, once you start thinking you own someone, and it'll drive you crazy. You'll start doing psychotic things. You just got to understand that we're here to experience people together, collectively, walk this journey together if it makes sense, and just experience. You're doing yourself a disservice by thinking you possess people, like they're your possession. Of course you want commitment, but to possess is not a good look. Focus on the experience and making rich experience. I'm not saying that from a monetary standpoint. Rich experiences are just traveling, seeing new things, going through certain difficulties in life and coming through, and overcoming that. That's my 2 cents. Next tweet. Don't lose yourself when loving someone else. We hear this, we see this. People get wrapped up in their relationship and lose themselves. And when you've lost yourself, when after the relationship has ended, you need to go down, a road of self-care. You're doing all these things that you never did before to upkeep yourself and take care of yourself. It's important to keep the connections that you have with other people, that are healthy, and do the things that you love, so you don't lose yourself. Just my 2 cents. What y'all think? Comment below. Let me know if you can relate with that one. Have you ever lost yourself, in a relationship? Let them do what they want to do so you can see what they rather be doing. Absolutely. This goes back to possession, like possessing someone, thinking that they're yours. I mean, they're yours in the stance that you guys have agreed to be committed to one another. But it's important that, like, if they show you different, that just watch that and decide from there. I like that one. Never share your problems with people who aren't the solution. Absolutely. You can't have your heart on your sleeves just telling everybody your information, your private life. You really gotta, and I like the key word here, with people who are part of the solution. Who are part of the solution? Sometimes extended family or close family is not the solution. You gotta, if you're gonna open up, they need to be part of what could potentially be the solution or be the solution. Write down a list of things you feel are important in a partner, then go be that list. Whew, that's deep. Yeah, a lot of times we want things from other people that we aren't even that. You know what I'm saying? And it's sort of like the popular quote, be the change you want to see. Like, you got to be that person, that partner. You can't expect. I agree. Last but not least, let me get the horn drop on this one again. Love people for who they are, not their potential. Oh, many of us can relate to that, where we're falling in love with this person based off of potential, what you foresee or what you're expecting. Or that ain't it. You got to meet people with, wherever they are, and accept them for wherever they are. Potential, if they don't do the work, then what the hell is, what potential is nothing. You feel me? So I agree with that one. But yeah, if you want to share any relationship advice, let them post it down in the comments. Let me know which of the tweets that I shared today was your favorite relationship advice. And let me know, send me some topics, that I should cover for Beyond the Hustle. And yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video. Comment, like, and subscribe. And I'm out. Peace.